what's up, guys? So today we have peterbot. Um, yeah, we have the FNCS Grand Finals Day 2. We're gonna be watching them because on the update there we can see FNCS. Meanwhile, we're playing Legends Landing. So
The other side, we're trying to figure out what's going on with this team here. They've had,
wait,
overall, if you just look at the overall performances, pretty good. However,
SG,
the best of the best, right? Those that are up at the very top are just outpacing them by a significant margin as far as overall consistency. So will Peterbot and Pollo get their moment to finally win a game is the question.
Especially, you kind of look at some of these teams at the top of the
I
leaderboard
think
and their overall match history, and you kind of look at it from anybody else, you're like, man, that's a good match history. But for the teams like Peterbot, the teams like this Clix and Higgs, when you start off the first 3 games for Clix and Higgs with victory royales, it kind of sets the tone and the pages for the rest of the tournament, but then things don't necessarily go your way. With one of the best POIs, they got 4 games left. I think anything is possible, especially since the last couple games to start the day. They have their head on straight. They're still staying to their plan, going for high ground when they can. It's just unfortunate. I think more and more teams are ready to make the risk with everything on the line today.
For me, I still can't be the only one who's wondering why in the world did they end up at the Dark Dominion against Cold and Rapid, who are clearly playing as a cut above the rest of the competition right now. So we'll keep eyes on this. This is obviously one of the stronger draw spot teams tend to rotate into for Metal. Let's give this little highlight here, some action. Noisy and Neo just holding down the Sanctuary once again, finding this little lurk play there. Meanwhile, Tyler and Chance survived the Boulevard. Looks like Curve and Veno have not decided to push down south towards his team, and instead they end up disengaging and out to the southern edge of the map.
This is something we saw Tyler and Chance do in that last game. They landed the south side of Battlewood. Sometimes it can be a little contested, so they immediately go towards the south and try to cut off the loot path of any of these teams that are on this portion of the map. Going to be plenty of opportunity depending on what your timing is, but it seems like Tyler and Chance barely missed their window. Players going to go ahead and rotate around for free. Aviv and King, though, another team. Aviv, we were talking about solo clutch and big impact points. Aviv was one of those players on the top of the leaderboard, and then you take into a fact like the eval finals right before FNC has started. They were the only team to win 2 different games, so they have the blueprint. Just unfortunately, we really haven't seen the success that we'd hope for from a team like this. Kind of seeing if they can really bounce back in today's tournament. I think there's plenty of time and opportunity. They're at 174 points, though. About 80 points down away from that top 13 window.
Yeah, it looks like every other game they're making somewhat of a semblance towards the end game, but not quite being able to push the boulder past peak of the mountain there, get that momentum going. But Veno and Curve I thought he was spotted out, but Magma's got no idea that he's actually approaching this close here. I want to know if he's going to go for the high ground player or the low ground one. G-Monster's exposed as well.
I think they might just go for a straight chop, but Magma's dropping down low, so he's probably going to wait for the window to open. He go ahead and disengage out. G-Money gets spotted out on the other side. Don't take your pick at this point, because Veno and Curve are ready to go all in. Boxes up one, slides into the box onto Magma. Now they're going to go ahead and take down G-Money. A quick 2 eliminations. Veno and Curve, they're not slowing down.
And I've worked with Veno enough times to know exactly what his thought process there, right? Put the pressure down on the other opponent. The other one's going to get risky. He plays the switch reverse card, lands on him, boxes him up before he even recognizes he's actually the one that's the target. Veno is just playing different right now. And again, this is no different than what we saw yesterday. They have been overly successful in the early game. And now that they're finding the end game kind of formula, right? The solution to their problems. That's why they've been able to close this gap so fast.
Not sure how many teams can really take them on head-to-head with the way they're playing so far, so you maybe have to catch them on a rotation, maybe get them lobby focused. But Bolts and Acorn talked about their strategy. Vivid broke it down, that long launch pad towards the back. They combine both the Fizz and the Shockwave. for easy rotations just like this. Jump on board.